All right, everyone, we've got another Grimdark Future 3,000 point battle report for one-page rules. Some alien hives versus Tau Union. Two armies that I'm very interested in seeing how they go up against each other. So we're continuing to do some testing from OPR 3.2. Neither of these armies changed a lot. So I want to see. I mean, they have the rending change, which affected both armies, but we'll see how they do. 3,000 points is a standard scenario that I like to test against with 5 objectives. We're still running the command point structure that you see below. So let's look at these armies. The first of which is, I think, a pretty nasty Alien Hives army that I've sort of grabbed a lot of the units that I think are really powerful and sort of put them together. Got a Hive Lord with these 4 serrated blades. I see this on this in my burrow, where it's something that Alien Hives is almost unique to them, is their ability to get like these 12 AP4 attacks that hit on 3s. It's super good. Got them with wings, and he's got the regeneration as well. Still want to try that out. 2 units of Assault Grunts, I think they're super good. Giving them the Furious Bite, which is just such a steal at basically 10 points for the combined squad. Fast and Strider. These are super good units. I got a 3rd unit of Assault Grunts that I've got with the. I had 5 extra points. I actually got poison on them. I got 5 or 10 points. Yeah. Super good as well. These are just super good upgrades for 5 points apiece on them with Fast and Strider. Got some Shooter Grunts with some Bio Spots. I think these guys are also super good. They've got Strider, but the big thing is they've got a 6-inch range with AP2. So it takes them a little bit to get in range, but once they get in range, 2 shots apiece at AP1 is pretty good. A unit of Soul Snatchers, you can never really go wrong with Soul Snatchers. They're just a super good unit. Got some Ravenous Beasts, giving them the Scout upgrade. So this is going to be an army that's going to be in your face real fast. I think Ravenous Beasts giving them some. So I've got some Ravenous Costs, but I've also managed to put in a lot of serrated blades in now. So I've got a significant number of regular attacks, but also some AP4 attacks coming in there. Snaps Floaters, I think these guys are great. These, I think, are the best of the, what do you call them? The Mage Council or Caster Council things. They've got that. So they're getting 6 tokens every turn. They got stealth, and they got these blasts. Like, I think Snaps Floaters, I think, are a super good unit. I want to see how they do. And I got the Burrow. I think the Burrow is just absolutely powerful. I mean, he's got 12 AP4 attacks with those serrated claws. 6 more with that stomp, giving him regeneration as well. Surprise attack 3 as well. Yeah, he's just super good. And then I've got these 2 3-man units of Spores. 55 points apiece is really good for them. They're going to be used for objective control. So, yeah, just a really fast, in-your-face, hard-hitting army. Let's go up against the Tau Union. So, one thing we've got, I'm trying to play these, I think, is a traditional Tau army that I think in my head. So a Grunt Leader, giving him a Volley Fire, which is basically furious in shooting. He's got like a rifle. I've got 2 Grunt Squads, both of them with just pulse rifles and with good shot. So 200 points. He's in one of those squads. And then I've got some battle suits heavy. So I don't like stealth suits. I don't think they're good. So I'm running just standard battle suits. Ambush, they just all are just running the rending. So I just got a lot of rending in these guys. We'll see how they do. Some gun drones that I've given them the twin pulse guns, so they're running rending. There's a lot of rending in this army. Got some sniper drones with some pulse rifles. I got a hover tank. I want to see how this does. I've had some generally some opinions about tanks, and I want to give them a shot and see. The other thing I have a TIE Titan. I really think the Tau needs something as far as quality 3. So this TIE Titan is running with a plasma sword, and he's got he's got a little hand to hand, but he's mainly just got this burst carbines and a fuser carbine. So he's hopefully going to be pretty decent as well. All right, for the setup here, so 5 objectives. This is just how it is. Going forward, you notice the Tau Union when I set them up pretty tight. I hadn't seen where those Soul Snatchers and those Ravenous Beasts on the right were going to set up. So I wanted to, and both of those guys have Fast and Strider. So I wanted to keep the army pretty close together. And in fact, the army actually set back. That's the other thing you would notice. They're pretty far back. I actually just set them back because I didn't know what those Soul Snatchers and those Ravenous Beasts just have a Strider. They got a 16-inch charge from Scout. So those two units really do force me as the Dow player to play pretty back. So I've got my two units of grunts in the center. I've got my gun drones on the right, and then my tank on the left with the sniper drones. And I've got my Tide Titan in the middle. For the alien hives, yeah, I've just been setting up my grunts, my assault grunts. I've got those floaters, those synapse, those what do you call them? The spines or spore mines? I call them spore mines. They're just in the back. They're going to be used just to sort of hide around and just grab objectives. And then behind hardcover, I've got my synapse floaters. Towards the left here, you can see I've got my other unit of gaunts, and then those two scouted units, because I couldn't charge, I actually just set them on the far left. So the Ravenous Beast and the Soul Snatchers came in for scout. That's just a picture over here on the far right. You can see I was setting pretty far back here, and those gun drones are going to try to do some damage here. Just trying to form a center up, and then there is my tank on the left here. It's just another picture, and you can kind of see that the alien hives are really ended up committing a lot towards this bottom where these two objectives are. And then remember, I also have my big guys coming in. So turn one, the Dow Union does go first. So the first thing I do is my guys with the 30-inch range. This is with they have the Furious on them. The exploding sixes. They shoot at those grunts. They kill. They kill a good minimum. I think they kill 6 of them. And those guys do pass their morale. So, but still took out 4 of them. I go ahead and just run these guys up, just to tow into the objective, to sort of force my opponent to just to shoot them. So those guys that just got shot, they run up and grab the objective. They sort of tow in. I then have the other squad. They don't have the Relentless. I guess it's Relentless. So they just move up and they actually shoot at the same squad. They kill another 3. But I pass morale again. So this guy's he's pretty tough. So this one single assault grunt is still around. At this point, the other assault grunts, they rush up just to grab another objective on their side. The tank moves up, and it's got some indirect guns. That it's also able to shoot at those assault grunts, kills 5 of them, and these guys, however, are not as brave, so they do waver. So this is my synapse floaters. Again, they start out every turn with those 6 tokens. So I go ahead and cast regen on themselves, and I think I put them on the. So I spend 4 to cast regen on themselves. Yeah, and they put it on those shooter grunts beside them. They then just rush up towards the objective. So the snipers move up and they shoot the synapse floaters. They had just moved up. They do 2 wounds on them, and they actually remove their regen as well. So the shooter grunts that just had the regen, they rush up and grab another objective. So you can see alien hives are, because I was able to push back the opponent with those Ravagers and those Soul Snatchers, it really allowed me to kind of grab these objectives early. So that's the shooter grunts just rushing up. The shooter drones, the gun drones, they move up and they try to stay outside of the 16-inch charge range of those Ravagers. They shoot at them. They do 5 wounds, and so they kill one of the Ravagers and put 2 wounds on the other one. So that's just showing the Ravagers. The synapse. So these are these spore mines. They just move up, they rush, and they grab this objective. The Tide Titan, it moves up and it shoots the shooter grunts that had even with the regen, because the regen nerfs took out 9 of those grunts. Those guys do waver. So the Ravagers just go ahead and they just rush up. They actually claim the objective and just get right into those gun drone faces. And then the other thing to do is these guys as well. The Soul Snatchers, they rush up as well, right behind the Ravagers. I've got the Spore Mines. They move up, they rush just to try to get closer to the enemy. And so that's just been the first turn. You can see that the Alien Hives did take some damage, but they also grabbed a lot of the objectives. They did a lot to just, like, these Ravagers and these Soul Snatchers are already on the other side of the field. They actually managed to grab this center objective, which is great. And then the Oh yeah, these guys also, I forgot to show, they do unwaver. So yeah, that was just something that happened that I forgot to point. Yeah, this is just showing the alien hives just being able. Those two scouting units pushing the unit back gave the alien hives a lot of room to just come and initially grab all these objectives, with the Dow Union only able to really grab one objective on their side. So this is just a picture here. The Dow Union does get to go first, but we also know, so this is just a picture over here, and you can just see that the alien hives are able to grab 4 out of the 5 objectives on turn 1, with the Dow, not really being able to respond due to being pushed back by those scouting units. That's just a picture here. That's just a picture there. Yeah. So, turn 2, the Dow Union does get to go first. So, before that happens, though, we do have the So I didn't. This is after me doing all the ambush moves. So both the Dow Union and the Alien Hives bringing everything from ambush. After it's all said and done, the Dow Union ended up putting the battle suits close to the center to try and do some damage. I didn't know where that tyrant was going, but at the end of it, anyway, that tunneler popped up and it did its ambush attack. It hit the tank, doing 1 damage on the tank, and it hit one of the gun drones, killing it. And I think that's it. And then you see the hive tyrant on the bottom. It ambushed in the woods, so that's just showing there. And then you've got the battle suits moving in the center here. Yeah, so that's just all the things, and you can just sort of see here. It was difficult for me to do a lot with the battle suits just because I was going to get overrun, so I tried to play the center and just hopefully shoot them. So yeah, that's just another picture there. So yeah, the first thing, the tunneler, it charges the tank and it shoots. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. I apologize. That was more movement. So yeah, the first thing is the Tide Titan. It actually moves in and it shoots that tunneler. So it shoots the tunneler, doing what does it do? It doesn't do a lot of wounds actually. So yeah, it moves up and it shoots that tunneler. I think it only gets 2 wounds. Yeah, I think I didn't roll, so I think I miss with the. I think I missed with one of the fusers, and then I didn't get a lot of. With rending, I didn't get a lot of 6s, so that tunneler, I ended up only doing 2 wounds on that tunneler, which was a pretty bad roll for the Tide Titan. I really needed that Tide Titan to do a lot more damage on that tunneler. So yeah, that was a bad roll when I really needed it. So the tunneler only took 2 wounds. He's able to charge the 6-man unit of guys, kills 3 of them, doing 10 wounds, and he takes none in return. They do, they do pass their morale though, so that's good. I then have the green squad of the battle suits move up and they shoot the synapse floaters, doing 5 damage. So it takes out 2 of them, puts another wound left on there. So those synapse floaters took some damage, leaving them at 4. But they had 2. So they're still at their 6. Then the Hive Tyrant charges the tank. So he's got fly. He's able to charge the tank, does 8 wounds, and actually routs that tank. So that Hive Tyrant's just an absolute beast, just murdering people. So that's just the tank gets routed by the Hive Tyrant, and then it just moves back. So this is the gun drones. So they can't get out of range of either of them, but they do shoot. They move back and they shoot those Ravagers. They do pretty good. They kill. They kill up to. The Ravagers do pass their morale, but they have been cut in half. So yeah, that's just showing that part. The gun drones are doing pretty good, but it's a lot coming at them. So at this point, the synapse floaters, they move up. They cast the damage spell. So the first thing they do is they cast the -1 morale on the battle suits, and they cast a damage spell that does 1 damage. Yeah, so I forgot what damage spell it was, but they were able to kill one of those battle suits with the damage spell. And they also cast they then shoot at the battle suits as well, and they cast regen on themselves. So shooting at the battle suits, I think they were managed to kill another one. So that's just showing them casting the regen on those assault grunts, cast it on themselves. And then they also this is also part. They also, and that's the thing. These synapse floaters with 6 tokens, they can do a lot. So they cast a damage spell, then they killed one. They then moved, cast the regen spell, and then they were also able to cast a -1 morale spell. So again, with 6 tokens, you're able to do a lot. So both of those suits got -1 morale, and finally afterwards they shoot at the 2 remaining suits with their blast weapons. They were also able to kill one of them, and then with the -1 morale, the battle suits failed. Those synapse floaters are super good, super good. Like they can just do so much every round. At this point, the other smaller squad moves onto the objective, and they shoot. They shoot the synapse floaters who are inside the stealth range, and they kill another one. Also remove their regen. Their regen isn't as big a deal because they do have those rending weapons. So yeah, they are managing. They finally cut those synapse floaters into half. So that's just showing there. At this point, the Ravagers. So I know that I checked the Soul Snatchers are able to charge the gun drones. So the Ravagers actually just skip the gun drones and charge the grunts with the leader in it. They kill 6 of those grunts, and then the leader I think goes back and I think I do 1 or 2 wounds, but yeah, I do pass my morale. But the leader sort of whiffs as well. I think he gets like 1 wound, I think. So this is the other 3-man unit of battle suits. They move up and they shoot at those snatchers who are about to charge the gun drones. They kill 3 of them, but they're still 7-man strong. And yeah, the soul snatchers are able to charge the gun drones. Kill 8 of them. Oh, 7 of them, and then the gun drones were out. That's the big thing about Dow. Having a quality 5 up is pretty rough on a lot of their units. They just consolidate closer. So this is the grunts that got charged by the Ravagers. They move back with the leader, so they can't use their Relentless, but they do shoot at those Ravagers. Only do 1 wound, so I'm also not rolling great with the Dow. That's probably hurting things as well. These assault grunts that have the regen, they charge 3-man unit of battle suits. They do 5 wounds into them. They lose 1 in return because of the regen. And actually, these guys waver as well. So, and that's the thing with Dow. Just all these lower qualities is really hurting them. I do go ahead and spend a CP to remove that waver. So that is me using my command points just to mitigate some of that. We then have the other grunt squad. They move back a little bit. They shoot at the Ravagers, but the Ravagers are in cover, so they do kill 1 more of them. But the Ravagers also pass their morale. So some relatively good rolling as well happening for the alien hives. So this is the single assault grunt charges the wavered. So this is one of these wavered squads that happen from the synapse floaters. I have a single assault grunt. He charges. He does a wound. And then that's enough actually to kill him because he's already wavered, so he just auto routes. So, this is the sniper drones. They move up to the side. They actually, they shoot at the tunneler, but they don't manage to do a wound. That tunneler is just super good. 18 wounds. It has regen and it's got a 2-up armor save. So, this is the spore mines. They just rush up. And then the assault grunts, the 5-man that had wavered, they rush up. I then unwaver the single shooter grunt that got shot. And then just more of these synapse floaters are rushing up. And yeah, that's sort of the end of the second turn. I would say the Dow did roll pretty bad this turn. Like, I really needed that TIE Titan to just do a lot of damage into that. That tunneler, and just I think I didn't roll a lot of 6s, and I think I only hit once with the fusions, and then I think he saved it or regen. Yeah, it was a pretty bad roll. That tunneler just only ended up taking 1 wound. With this army with Dow, I have a lot of rending, and if you don't roll 6s, it can be a really tough army. So I would say this turn the Dow rolled pretty bad, and the Alien Hives were pretty good this turn as well. So it was a rough turn for the Dow Union and a pretty good turn from the Alien Hives. So that's just some more pictures as well. And you can see the Alien Hives have pretty much, they have 4 objectives and they're contesting another one. Okay. So yeah, that's just the last picture here. Looking pretty bad. So let's go into turn 3. The Dow Union do get to go first this turn. So we'll see what they can do. It's a pretty tough bet. So the TIE Titan does move up and he shoots into the tunneler. He rolls great. I think he does like 8 wounds into him and actually wavers him. I do go ahead and spend a command point to unwaver the tunneler, but I really needed this last round. I needed that tunneler to get shot up, and that could kill him this round. So, but that tunneler did take some damage. The tunneler, though, heavily wounded, does charge the 3-man squad of battlesuits, killing all of them and then consolidating on the objective. Yeah, so at this point, the Grunt Squad, they just move back a little more. They shoot those Ravagers. They kill all, and there's one with 1 wound left. He does pass his morale again, though, so the Alien Hives are rolling good morale. As these Assault Grunts, they charge one of the other 3-man battlesuits. They do 3 wounds, and then they lose maybe 1 in return, but the battlesuit wavers. These battlesuits, also at quality 4, really are not good. Yeah, I've not been impressed so far with the battlesuits. The other Grunt Squad just turns and shoots at the Snatcher. The Soul Snatcher's behind it. They kill 2 of them, but the Soul Snatchers also pass their morale. The Synapse Flippers, they move up and they cast Regen again. So they cast it on those Assault Grunts, and then they cast it on themselves. And then they shoot at those Snipers. They kill 1 of them. So, yeah. The Sniper drones then move up and they shoot at the Tunneler. I was hoping to get a couple of wounds on the Tunneler, but actually no wounds on that Tunneler. The Soul Snatchers charge the Grunts with the Leader. They kill all the Grunts except for the Leader. The Leader does, with his hand weapon, kill 1 of those Soul Snatchers. The Leader routes as well, and then they consolidate as well. The Tyrant charges the TIE Titan. The TIE Titan rolls okay. Again, I don't get a lot of 6s, and so he only takes 1 wound while taking 9 in return. The TIE Titan does pass his morale, though, but still, like, the thing with Alien Hives is they have so many of these AP4 attacks, these 12 attacks, that it's you can really see how these guys can easily take out other monsters of a similar level. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, that's these 12 AP4 attacks are really tough, and you can just see here that the Alien Hives are just really overrunning them. They did have some bad rolls, but this is also, I think, a pretty nasty army here. So yeah, turn 4, the Dow Union just basically concedes. I'll just show you again here. We can just look at it. That the Alien Hives have basically overrun and attacked them. They do get to go first, but you still have a Hive Tyrant Lord. I think that was enough. I don't think that they would have gotten 3 objectives. Yeah, it's definitely a rough game. It is a 5-0 victory for the Alien Hives. It's a turn 3 succession by the Dow Union. The Alien Hives did have some good morale tests and some relatively bad morale tests for the Dow Union. But still, though, I mean, Alien Hive seems super strong. I was particularly impressed with just the mass amount of AP4 attacks coming from that Tunneler, coming from that Hive Tyrant. That's really tough. Dow do need, I did need to roll, with a Rending army, it's sort of feast and famine. If you don't roll Rendings, they are significantly less powerful. Even with the, I was interested to see, because I did run Regen in the army. I was able to ignore some Regens, but the thing is that if you don't roll 6s on Rending is just not great if you can't roll 6s. That Dow tank also, I go back to it, it kind of confirms the suspicions that Dow tanks was pretty underwhelming as well. Anyway, thanks for feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're in Austin, you can always join the Austin Alternative Gaming Freaks. Thanks so much.